How do we create certainty for ourselves in an uncertain time? Hi everyone, this is Eileen from No More Tomorrow, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to use everyday routines and tasks to assist with helping you stay positive, especially during a time like when we're in quarantine, and how you can use that to reach your goals. A little disclaimer before I start, this is not meant to replace any professional or medical advice. I do think if you are struggling that it is worth seeking out medical help. So what do I mean when I say there is beauty in the mundane? Especially now during quarantine, how do we create certainty for ourselves in an uncertain time? I think that's a challenge that we all face right now. I remember especially during the first few weeks back in March, really focusing on what was happening in the world. So I was like watching TV all the time, reading articles, and just like overwhelming myself with information about the coronavirus, and then just feeling completely lost. And then I noticed on top of that is like as the weeks went on that I was also in my house a lot more than I used to be. I started working from home, stopped doing things with friends, and those normal things that I used to do in my daily life fell away. I just remember getting to the point where I was like, well, I haven't even left my house for 5 or 6 days. It was affecting, and my anxiety was coming back, panic attacks, and that's when I realized, oh man, so I had really struggled with panic attacks this past year. I mean, to the point where I thought I was having a heart attack. And then realized, well, if I'm having a heart attack, I wouldn't still, 20 minutes later, that's probably not what it is. And then really realizing it was actually severe panic attacks I was having. What I have done is 2 things. The first thing I do is I started to use my daily routines to help give me some sort of structure and sense of purpose throughout my day. The other thing I did, engage in the different activities that I love and enjoy and to bring those back into my life. We'll talk about every day first. There's some simple things that you can do that can really help you create structure. So when you wake up in the morning, the certainty you have is knowing I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. For example, when I wake up in the morning, I started to make my bed. And there's something about even the simple act of making your bed in the morning that can help you feel more complete. That is a strategy I have used a lot in my life actually, is just when I wake up in the morning, get up, I need to make my bed. I need to get dressed. I need to eat breakfast, right? So I created this morning routine for myself that was something that helped me kind of push past any anxiety, sadness, stress I might have been feeling and kind of get ready for my day. Then at night, I give myself kind of a closing routine, right? So at the end of the day, I go do my dishes. I've just been kind of cleaning my kitchen. So do the dishes, clean the kitchen, and that signals to me, okay, the day's over. It's time to relax. I feel like that there's something beautiful about the little things that we have to do every day that can help us feel more whole. I'm even at a loss of words here. There's just something about it that can make you feel a little better. The other thing I have done, again, to really deal with anxiety, panic attacks, and just the state we're in right now of being in quarantine, is bringing back activities that I used to love. So really thinking like, what are the things that I maybe used to do and enjoyed that I don't do anymore? Or is there something I've been wanting to do? Can I bring it in my life? And again, this can be really simple. I always love to read. So one thing I did do was a few months ago, I joined the Book of the Month Club. It's nice to get something in the mail once a month. And then at night, after I do that routine of, okay, I go clean my kitchen, and then that's done for the day. That's my signal to myself, all right, you can relax now. Then I would go read my book. And that self-care component of now it's time to do something for me. Time to stop thinking about work or other people or thinking about what's going on in the world. Just do something for myself to rest and recharge. Re-engaging in my love of reading has kind of made me feel more like Eileen again. The other thing I'm doing is with exercise. So I've always known that when I exercise, I feel better. And now that I have really seriously decided that I want to keep exercise as a pretty strong part of my week, that gives me something to look forward to as well. So, and then when I do my workouts, I find that I always feel better. Even if it's a day where I don't feel like doing it and I just end up taking the dogs on an extra long walk, that in itself has been helping me. And that goes along with getting outside. So go back to what I said before, where I found myself maybe being like 4 or 5 days and I haven't even left the house yet. I do live in an apartment, so unfortunately I don't have a backyard that I can go into, so I was just kind of hiding in my house. And with my dogs, there's this little garden area. So kind of what I got into this routine and is taking the dogs out 4 or 5 times a day. and then we'd walk around the garden area a few times, then we go back in. And I was realizing, that's not good for me or my dogs, right? The dogs need to be outside. I need to be outside. I had to kind of push past that fear of being outside and potentially running into people. Because again, we're thinking quarantine now of like, I don't want to be around people. That helped too. So I had to push past that fear. And so one day I was like, all right, this has been a few weeks now. I need to get outside. My dogs need to get outside. Every day I try to get outside for at least a half hour to an hour a day. And I know that sounds like that's not even a lot. I mean, I am at home working all day, so it's always like, okay, I've worked all day. When I'm done work, now is my outside time. So the third thing that I kind of re-engage myself in is crocheting. Articles out there that talk about the benefits of crocheting and knitting. Fine, when I'm sitting there and I'm working on a crochet project, I'm not thinking about other stuff. Those two things combined are kind of what I've kind of meshed in together into a daily schedule that has totally changed my mindset in quarantine. I've been noticing even the past few weeks that I feel happier again, where I was starting to feel sad, bummed out. I was feeling isolated. Found that my panic attacks and anxiety was coming back, and that itself was a warning to me, like I have to do something different. How do I turn this into a daily plan? I wake up in the morning, think about first, what am I waking up for? What are my goals that I'm trying to achieve today? Then I follow my routine. Me and my dogs have kind of gotten to this routine where I wake up, I feed the dogs, I get dressed, I feed myself, I get ready for the day. On a day that I work, I go to work. On a day that I don't have work, then I try to relax, which has been a struggle. Get off work, it's time to have outside time, it's time to make dinner. So I make dinner. Again, I try to get outside for at least a half hour to an hour of just steady, like go outside, go on this walk, eat dinner. I work out at night, do the dishes, let's clean the kitchen, have it ready for tomorrow. And then it's my free time, and then I'm able to choose one of those activities that I brought back into my life that just kind of allow me to have some time for myself. And that is how I've been structuring my day. And then before I go to bed, I think again, what did I do to reach my goals today? I talked about my goals in the other video where I talked about changing habits. And so I'll link that video below. So to recap, I think the first step is to really look at what are the things that you are doing every day that maybe seem kind of mundane, or you're like, oh, I have to make the bed again. Oh, I have to do laundry. Oh, I have to cook food. And in those everyday tasks, is there a way to use those things that you have to do every day to help you create some kind of structure and certainty to your day, so you know, this is when I do that, this is when I do this. And then you kind of have that plan. And because of that, maybe your mind's not going to become so idle. And is how can you bring back activities that you used to love or used to do that maybe you don't anymore? Especially simple activities. And then how can we incorporate that into the day to assist with, again, your own self-care, allowing yourself some time to just detach from the world. And all this really ultimately helps with mental health. It helps with passing the days, right? Now we're into August, and it seems like there's no understanding of when life will return to normal. However, that doesn't have to mean that you cannot create some normalcy within your own life. But ultimately, that's always what I think about, is the beauty in the mundane. There's just something that can be so healing and so helpful in our own lives if we really look at the things that we have to do and the things we want to do, and we see them in a different light. It goes back to that video I'm going to link about our mindset. And I think now more than ever, it's so important to really pay attention to what are you telling yourself every day? Where are your thoughts? And what can you do to help yourself? And allow yourself time to feel the feelings you feel, and then allow yourself time for self-care, because self-care is so important. And even more so now, I think taking care of ourselves is a priority, not only for our health, but also for our mental health, for our general well-being, and for our ability to still be able to focus on goals that we were maybe focusing on before quarantine, even if it has to look different. Purposes of this channel, we're looking at weight loss. So I found myself stressed out about what was happening in the world, and then just kind of eating whatever, right? Definitely found myself, especially in March and April, being like, I feel so stressed out. I don't know what's going on. I'm not working as much as I used to. I'm losing money. Again, like, probably what a lot of people are experiencing. I'm just kind of eating comfort food a lot. I definitely did gain a few pounds during quarantine. I had always said before that I just need life to stop. I feel like if life could stop and I could just focus on my weight loss goals and I could really get it down, because I felt like trying to lose weight year after year, but then still having to go to work and do all the stuff you have to do in a day, it was really hard to make health a priority. And then I think it hit me one day, Eileen, you said that this is what you wanted. You had said before that you felt like you just needed everything to stop, and now look at you. Now you're sitting in quarantine. This is your chance. So when I realized this is kind of what I wanted. I wanted the ability to stay home and focus on my health. So I decided to take advantage of the situation. There's nothing I can do about what's going on in the world. All I can do is do my part. I can use this opportunity to reach some of these goals. Do anything that I can do right now to keep myself as healthy as possible, just in case I do contract this virus, then I'm hopefully able to fight it off better. Hope this helps. I feel like this video isn't as cohesive as I wanted it to be. It's a very personal journey. As many people that are in the world right now, that's how many different experiences there are in life. And from my experience, the more I focus on goals I'm achieving, the more I try to use this time at home to better myself, and the more I just stop looking at the things I have to do every day as just a dreadful, like an endless cycle of laundry and dishes and all that stuff, the more I'm able to use it in a way that helps me feel like me again. That's where the beauty comes in, is that those little things that you used to do day in and day out, those are a part of who you are. Those are a part of your being. How can you bring them back into your life in a way that you can feel more like yourself again in a time like this, where you're maybe not being able to engage in all the things you used to do, and you maybe feel a little disconnected from yourself and from others. So I want you to remember, today is another day to reach your goals, and thank you for watching. Bye.